So hopefully you've already watched the small office architecture, network architecture video. Please see that because it'll help understand a little bit about this authentication video. So authentication for a small office is relatively simple, and today with cloud services it makes it even easier. So this is an example with a few assumptions here. Let's take a look at the top. First of all, the files are stored local on the user's desktop or device. They're backed up to some sort of USB drive inside of the environment as well as to a cloud environment. Email, accounting, things of that nature, all cloud services, and then of course a basic user um, that uses, it's not a power user, for example. So here, when we look at this, let's go ahead and just take each one down. Email, of course, any cloud-based email system is going to have authorization by itself, so there's security there. So no need for a centralized server. You're not going to be able to pass through. The whole object of this discussion is you don't need an LDAP server or an Active Directory server in your local small office because you're going to be getting verification and validation through these other means. So email, accounting software, if you use an accounting software online, for example, let's say, I don't know, QuickBooks, um, you'll have a username and password that you'll have to use to get out there. And then, of course, if you have shared files like a Dropbox or Google Drive or OneDrive or whatever it is that you're using, you're going to have username and authentication there. Now, with some of the solutions, the username and password is tied directly into the device itself. So the device itself, PC, phone, tablet, all have the ability to put user challenging on there, right? User authentication on there. So you have to enter in a username and a password to challenge the user. So I would suggest doing that, and sometimes that directly feeds. For example, OneDrive is hooked to your Microsoft account. If you're running Windows 8 or Windows 10, it's going to directly connect you. So things of that nature. Google, when you sign on to Chrome, it's going to get you a password and log you into email, Office productivity. So it's kind of a one-stop shop for a username and password and let you access all the services. Then if you're running some sort of backup file server, or I use this word server, it's really a desktop here. Let's say it's a Windows backup. We're going to have Windows security there, so you are able within a Windows desktop to establish usernames. So just a backup username and authentication. And as well, a USB drive, if you're going to back up to USB storage, a lot of the USB drives, like a WD, for example, has a logon and password authentication model. So all of this, it translates out to very little need for you to set up authentication at your local site if all of your services are external.